Hello and welcome back. It's week 12. We are 1 week from the competition, which means we are just mapping out peak week now and doing all the final preparations to get ready for the stage. This last week has been a real grind. I'm absolutely starving. Hunger levels are through the roof. I haven't had a refeed in about 3.5, 4 weeks now. So I'm very depleted on carbohydrates. I have zero pump in the gym. Training is monotonous. I'm not enjoying it whatsoever. The body is starting to get a little bit irritated now, so old injuries are starting to come back to haunt me. So we are literally really in a period of overreaching now as we enter into peak week where everything changes and hopefully we see some improvement in mood, hunger and energy levels. This week I also went and got my body fat analysed, my body composition analysed at Bodyscan UK in London, and I got the gold standard reading for my body composition, and I'm really pleased to say that I came out at 10.7% body fat, decent amount of skeletal mass and strong bone density. So some really strong positive data coming from that scan, which I'm really happy about. And to put it into perspective, typically DEXA scans are slightly higher than calipers or in-body scans, or just by eyeballing an athlete's body fat percentage. So 10% probably in real terms, looking at someone on the stage, would be about 6 to 7% body fat. So, or even slightly lower than that potentially, but it has confirmed that my composition is in a really good place to go to the stage and perform. So weight is still 74.5 or 74.6. There's no real change there, and I don't expect there to be any significant change now this late into prep as we go into peak week. And obviously when I start refeeding with carbohydrates, that's going to impact the number on the scales. So I'm less concerned about that at this point and more about how I'm looking, how I'm feeling going into the end of peak week before the show. So going into peak week, I won't be making too many significant changes. I certainly won't be manipulating water or sodium. I see too many natural athletes making that mistake. It has very little impact on how you look on show day and actually could have a negative impact on how you look. So the main focus for me for peak week will be to replenish glycogen stores by refeeding through carbohydrates. And I will be front loading my week. So from Tuesday next week, I'll be increasing my carbohydrates up to about 300 to 350, around 200 to 250 on Wednesday. And then I'll assess how I'm looking and how I'm feeling on Thursday going into Friday and make any tweaks or adjustments before show day to make sure that I don't overspill. The key is to replenish glycogen stores in the muscles to have them looking fuller, and also to pull any extracellular water into the muscle cells so you look tighter, fuller and drier. And by front loading the week with the higher levels of carbohydrates allows you time towards the back end of the week to pull things back if you do spill, if you end up having extracellular water or subcutaneous water, making you look flat and soft. So you have an extra couple of days just to tighten back up if you kind of overshoot with the carbohydrates. With nutrition mapped out for peak week, training will be very light, nothing significant whatsoever. It's all about rest and recovery. So I'll probably do a few light upper body sessions, maybe one light leg session, and some very, very light cardio, just to keep things ticking over as we go towards the back end of the week. Also, a slight change in plan. I'll no longer be commuting to the show on show day. I've managed to find myself a hotel to stay on the Friday night, just to take some of the stress out of things and make it a little bit easier logistically. Plus, I'll be covered in tan. The last thing I want to do is sit in traffic trying to get to the venue on time in the morning for that second coat. I'm not sure what the hotel will be like. There wasn't many left. I left it a little bit too late. The reviews look terrible on Google. But hopefully I'll get some footage and show you what it looks like on the day, and fingers crossed it's not too bad. So Friday next week, about mid-morning, I'll be driving to Dunstable to the hotel. I'll be parking up, going to get my first coat of tan, doing my polygraph and also registering for the show. So there'll be a lot of things done on Friday. And then hopefully the hotel room isn't terrible and I can get a good night's sleep. So it's just a place to get my head down and then get up nice and early on the Saturday, go into the venue and get my second coat of tan done, get backstage, get prepared, pump up, and then do my thing. Well, that's everything for this week's update and the week ahead. I better go get my beard and hair cut so I don't look like an emaciated Gandalf on stage. And join me next week when I'll be dropping a video documenting the entire day of show day. And please make sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.